Brandon, thank you very much. I'm joined by Jonathan Jones and Pete Prisco. So, guys, the Amari Cooper news, what more can you tell us about what's happening today?
Yeah. What's happening today is what's been happening. Essentially, what the Cowboys are ultimately doing when they signed Amari Cooper to a 5-year, $100 million contract was, well, they wanted him to play big in big games. And, well, sometimes he disappeared a lot of times. And so what you have right now is a guy who counts about $22 million against the cap. They have CeeDee Lamb. They drafted him to be one of their top guys, and he has been one of their top guys. And they don't have the cap money to keep Amari Cooper around. So they're going to go to his representation, ask him to take a pay cut to restructure. Amari Cooper's going to say, well, no, look at this free agent market for wide receivers. I'm not going to take less. I'm going to take exactly what I have been owed. And then they're going to say, well, that's not going to work. We're going to cut you. And then he will be a free agent once the new league year starts in mid-March.
Yeah, and when this contract was done, there was always an eye on the possibility of getting out from underneath it this year. There's only a $6 million cap hit for releasing him this year and saving yourself $20 million. So it was always going to happen, particularly when he didn't play very well last year. And that's the question with Amari Cooper. When Amari Cooper came to the Cowboys, there were issues with the Raiders with him. And so people wondered if he'd be able to transition and become a big-time receiver. He looked the part at times. Last year, he didn't look the part at all. He's clearly the number 2 receiver on that team. And I wonder, JJ, if he does get out on the open market, where does he rank in the pecking order of these wide receivers?
Well, you obviously have a Devontae Adams who is not going to become a free agent, right?
Gone.
He's going to be tagged. What are the Buccaneers going to do with Chris Godwin, who's coming off an injury? You look at the Cowboys, and they have Gallup, who just had ACL surgery. So you hope that Michael Gallup is going to be able to be healthy enough to be there at week 1. They have Cedric Wilson as well, who's going to be a free agent, who he's going to command some money out there on the open market unless he decides to come back to the Dallas Cowboys. So, listen, as you well know, with quarterbacks, there's always a team that will be desperate enough to bring him on. Will they ultimately pay him $20 million to come on? I'm not sure it's going to be that case, but you want to get in the $15 million range for Amari Cooper, he'll get that.
Here's the thing about the wide receiver market, and now that Amari Cooper will probably be in it, there's all questions and damage on all of them. You talk about the Godwin has a knee injury, Gallup has a knee injury, Odell Beckham has a knee injury. You have questions on Allen Robinson. Does he separate? Is he fast enough? Mike Williams, what's he going to do? He's probably going to go back to the Chargers.
Probably tagged.
And so you look at this group, and all of a sudden the wide receiver class that looks so good is not going to be so good. So maybe that will actually benefit Amari Cooper if he gets on the market.
And we've talked to so many coaches, and we've had the prospects up here. The wide receivers who are coming out of college are so ready-made for the NFL, right? I mean, it's no thing at all for these guys to come out and get you 1,000 yards immediately. And so the market for Amari Cooper will be there because a team will want a veteran wide receiver, but the Cowboys don't have to pay him, and they're not going to pay him.
In talking to a lot of guys around here this week, wide receiver coaches and GMs, the guy to keep an eye on in the wide receiver market, Christian Kirk.
Okay.
That's the guy from the Cardinals. He's the one. The right age. Amari Cooper's not the right age anymore, by the way. You want guys in 26, 27-year-old. You don't want older wide receivers.
It's interesting. Obviously, you guys are talking about this coming out. It is the Combine week that things kind of get floated. So the only thing I would say is the timing, certainly, right, is what we've seen.
Well, you do your business here.
Right.
You got to get ready for the league year. If he's not going to take the restructuring, off you go.
And
See ya.
that's where the conversation happened. It took place here in Indianapolis.
Right.
No, I'm not going to take the restructure. Okay,
See ya.
Good
All
luck
right.
somewhere else.
JJ, Pete, certainly appreciate it. We'll send it back to you.
I appreciate it, fellas. As always, we're not just covering all the prospects, but the breaking news in the NFL, of course, with the Cowboys likely to separate from Amari Cooper. The guys breaking that down just for us there at Indy. But, of course, later at the bottom of the hour, it's the LBs kind of taking center stage at Lucas Oil Stadium. We'll have that for you here on CBS Sports HQ. Stick with us.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.